Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby.
1, 2, 3.
Flashlight. Alright. So
Alright.
we're gonna go over our top 10 first world problems. Now I put top 10, but mine aren't necessarily in like an order. They're just like 10 things I thought
I don't
of.
know if I actually had 10. Maybe with
Okay.
Chloe's I have 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like our top however many we could think of first world problems.
Okay. Yeah. Alright.
So hit me with your first one.
Okay, so first one was just something that actually happened. Like, have you heard of the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck?
Steam.
Uh-huh.
The Steam Deck. So it's like a little handheld computer. Like, it's perfect for emulation and walking around and like.
Okay, no, I have not heard of
by
this.
Valve, who makes Steam, right? You know
Okay.
Steam, right?
Yeah. So this is a
Yeah, so
product
they're making
by
a little
Steam.
handheld computer.
Okay.
Yeah, which like has a controller and stuff.
Mhm.
And it would emulate like up to like PS3 if you really wanted to, and play Steam games too.
Okay.
So okay, my problem was the day they announced it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should pre-order it. I opened up the page, waited, and didn't actually. I think I just couldn't find my credit card or something like that. So I didn't play. It was like $5 to pre-order, to reserve the order.
Okay.
And then
So
they
this
sold
isn't a
out the
product
next
that
day.
exists yet. It's just now.
No. It's gonna come out. I think they were supposed to come out this Christmas, but it's been delayed a bit. That day, all the pre-orders were taken, and then now that's like backlogged to like halfway through next year.
Jesus.
And so I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. I'm gonna buy a like one of the competitors, which isn't as good because it's not backed by a big company like Valve. It's just some random Chinese company. But, it's going to go obsolete in a year. That's my problem, is I just bought this thing, and then in a year I'm just going to throw it in a junk pile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it plays some of the latest ones. But not as good as that one. Not nearly as good.
So it's basically like a Game Boy-esque handheld device that plays emulators.
Yeah. Yeah, so the one that's coming out basically just runs Windows, right?
Okay.
So you can emulate anything you can emulate on Windows. The one I got is Android, but it has a controller attached and it can do pretty well. It has a little graphics chip, and
So you did get
but it
your
can't do as well.
cheap version?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's not that cheap, so I feel like I'm just buying it just to throw this thing away later,
Okay.
or I'll find some reason for it.
So you're just like, I'll just get this shitty one until I can buy the new one.
Yeah, that's my first
The
world
good
problem.
stuff.
Is I'm just generating crap.
It's very true. That is a very good first world problem. Just like, I can't get the really nice
right.
thing, so I'm going to get the really crappy thing until I can get the nice thing.
Yeah, and only because I was too slow. Yeah, exactly. And
With
it's
online
something you
orders.
don't even need. You really don't need it.
No, not at all. Well, I guess one of the ones I have that fits in kind of with that is kind of a general one, but you can get it. Like when technology just doesn't work. When something doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Like your internet goes out, or you do something on Windows, like you hit like the enter button and like it fucks up your whole thing.
Oh yeah,
There's like just those little things on technology that like
that make you outraged.
they'll make you go into complete rage.
I think it was Louis C.K. had a bit of like a bit about this where he's like Wi-Fi on a plane and he's next to like it's brand new Wi-Fi on a plane,
Yes.
so he gets on it And then it's announced it's broken, and the guy next to him goes, figures. It's like, you didn't even know that existed 5 minutes ago. Like, that's a completely new thing. Let them work it out a little.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Like, what's funny is the one thing that makes me excessively angry is when technology doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I have a printer that doesn't print sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
That is... I once bought a $50 HP printer from Walmart. Just $50 because they try to sell you the ink, right?
Yeah.
Never once got it to work at all, and I just junked the whole thing. Like, that's a first world problem. And you feel guilty, like, throwing away
a printer.
This crap. Yeah, it's like a whole freaking printer. Even though it was $50, I just tossed the whole thing in the trash.
Yeah, no.
I was like, I am generating so much trash.
I literally...
I can't get it to work. I tried for hours.
Yeah, I just bought a $100 printer because my really expensive laser printer just randomly... It's like, I have an error. And I got so mad trying to figure it out. I'm like, fuck this, I'm buying like a $100 piece of garbage printer. And somehow this $100 printer is working way better than my expensive LaserJet printer. Like, it installed easier. It reads my Wi-Fi. The LaserJet one, it just would randomly disconnect to like the Wi-Fi. I had it set up for like Wi-Fi printing. It would just like randomly not work, and I'd have to turn it on and turn it off, or turn it off and turn it on again.
Yeah. The thing about like tech not working is you have such an expectation that it does. So like you go, that'll just be 10 seconds. I'll go and print out a document. And then you go, 15 minutes later you're Googling, why the fuck is my printer not working, you fucking piece of shit. Like, that was supposed to be 10 seconds. Now and then I'm a programmer. So sometimes I'll be like 4 hours in going, okay, this has to be something wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I will go into, config files, whatever. I can waste a lot of time. So
you know what? Also,
I definitely get that one.
Also about
really
like technology not. No, just about technology not working in general. It's just like it amazes me that like so much of our daily lives revolve around technology, and so when like something stupid like a printer won't work, it's like, do we have self-driving cars? Our whole financial system works on electronics. How can we not get like a printer to just fucking connect to my computer right now?
Yeah. Is no one checking these things?
Yeah. Exactly. All right, what's your next first world problem?
Okay, so I'm going to rotate between mine and Chloe's. So here's one of Chloe's.
Okay.
So we buy sparkling water at Costco.
Ooh, fancy.
Sometimes she runs out and she has to drink tap water, and she thinks, well, I'll just die of thirst then. I'll just die of thirst. Fuck that.
Oh my god, that was one of mine.
Is it? Really?
Yeah, I have when you run out of water bottles, so you have to use the tap. I don't do that because I drink tap water, but I know that's a big thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it's sparkling, because I mean, she's fine with plain water, or, tap, versus...
But when she wants the fizzy
it's gotta
water...
be sparkling. Yeah, it's gotta be fizzy. What, do you expect me to drink out of that like a peasant?
What is it about the fizzy water?
I don't... It's refreshing. That's the thing. See, I don't actually like
That's
it
true.
when it's warm. It's got to be cold and with a slice of lemon in it. Then I think it's better. But if it's just served room temperature, no, give me the tap. Fuck that. I want the tap.
Yeah, I'd rather have just water. Yeah, it's like warm pop, right? Like warm pop is disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get people. She drinks it like that. I can't. Like, no.
Different palates, man. That's so funny though. I did put that on there.
One? We have the same problems.
I don't even have like water bottles or anything. I drink tap water all the time, but I know that's like such a big thing for people. Like I only drink from water bottles.
See, all mine are ones I personally affect me, or ones that personally affect Chloe. I didn't think of other ones like people have.
Almost all of mine are personally affected mine. That was my last one that I thought of that didn't affect me ever.
Gotcha. All right. What's your next one?
So the first one I thought of is kind of general, but you can get into a lot of specifics, is just driving. There's a lot of things about driving that causes first world problems. Sometimes just sitting at a light is like a first world problem, right? You're just annoyed.
There's this one, I'm not sure if they just, like, expect you to always take a right turn at my old place. Because at night, like, I swear it never turned green to take a left turn.
You told me about that one.
So I just turned on the red light. I just turned on the red light because no one's coming.
Fuck it.
So I just did.
Like, forever light.
Maybe I just am very impatient, but I swear I was at that thing for 5 goddamn minutes.
But that's the thing that's really annoying about driving, right? Like, you could end up stopped at a red light, and it's literally like the dead of night, and there's no traffic. But you have to stop.
And here's the real problem. Here's what would make it so much more tolerable. If they just had a timer you could see. If I just knew in X minutes, it would, like, then I'm not sitting there thinking, is it broken? Is it broken? Am I going to be here forever? I'm going to die here.
Didn't China have, like, the little, like, timed red lights?
I think they did. Somebody did. Yeah, maybe they did.
Yeah, I think it was, like, at major intersections. It wasn't, like, everywhere. But I remember timed red lights there.
I think you're right. In Shanghai, probably.
Yeah. It was, like, at major cities and major intersections. But I remember that, and I was like, wow. Like, I would never be mad at a red light again. But hold on. Also about driving. This is a big one for me. Parking lots that don't connect.
Oh, yeah. That pisses me off, too. It's like, you couldn't just...
This whole maze you have to go through?
Yeah. You couldn't just put a little small connection in there. Just a little. Because sometimes, like, especially with Google Maps, you know?
Yeah.
You're not 100%. It's like 200 feet away. I can't look at 200 feet, so I turn into the wrong parking lot.
Yeah, and it's like, it's the building right next to me. It's that one.
And what kills it is sometimes they do connect, so you think, oh, I know there will be a connection, and you go around looking for it, wasting more time. Fine, fuck it. I'll go and take another right, and to go 10 feet and take another right.
Right? Oh, it's so frustrating. I think
it's happened a million times.
So far, like, a kind of a theme with a lot of these things, except for the first one, is like things that just like waste your time or like the slight inconvenience that shouldn't exist.
Yeah. So the one I had about driving was the wrong way signs. Are very often oriented so that they look like the right way is the wrong way.
Dude, all the freaking time, man.
I know. Like, sometimes I don't list my turn because I'm like, no, wait. That's just, because it's, I don't know, the way they do it is it's...
They need arrows pointing to what road they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's all, that would fix it.
No one really thought through this design.
No. Because I've thought that multiple times.
Both people can see the wrong way sign. You can see it from both goddamn directions. That's not how it's supposed to work.
It's so true, though.
People going the wrong way should see it.
Well, it's not just that. A lot of times on the wrong way roads, like even when they're right next to each other, say there's like a grass in between the two roads, and one of them's the wrong way, right? The wrong way sign is put on both sides of the wrong way road. So it looks like the second one applies to the other one. So it kind of looks like they're both the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. So no, everyone's sitting there going, "Which one do I go down then?"
Yeah, this is fucking what? How do I navigate this?
This is a really small pet peeve.
Yeah.
But in California, I think I may have mentioned to this when you were here. Rather than keep clear, they put clear keep because that's the order you see it in. That always bothers me.
Wait, say that again?
Instead of keep clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put clear keep because the first
on the road
you're driving you'll see. Yeah, so when you're driving forward, you'll see keep, and then the word clear. Yeah,
they do that with anything they write on the actual road. The first word is put first.
They don't do that in Ohio, right?
Yeah, they do. If it's written on the road.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess there just must not be a lot of things written on the road.
Yeah.
I've never seen it in Ohio that I recall. But in California, it's all over the place. So it just pisses me off every time. Like, just I know what you're going to say next.
Yeah. It's honestly...
Just put the word keep.
Yeah. I think it's mostly like something like keep clear or something ahead.
Yeah.
Like, school ahead
I don't know
or
if I've
something
ever
like
even
that.
seen things written on the road in Ohio.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not.
they
It's
have
not very
signs.
often.
There'll always be a sign.
Yeah, it's not very often
So
they do
you've
that.
probably traveled around a lot more than me, because I don't think I've ever once seen it.
No, I've definitely seen it. You know what's actually funny? They did that on a walkway that Nicole and I went on, like a trail. And so, like, I read the first word as I was walking, and then, like, a little bit down the road, it had the next word. I'm like, dude, bro, I'm walking. Like, I guess you could be biking and pass it a little
Just the whole
faster.
thing. I have the
Yeah,
time
just
to read it. Yeah.
yeah, like unless you're biking at like 50, I think you're gonna get the full two words. You know, like it's not that hard. I can't remember what it was, but it was something ahead or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why? I'm
I would
walking. I
have put
got it.
something like "Deadly Tiger on the Loose" and very far spaced out.
And they also have to like kind of stretch the letters, so if you see it on the road, like if you're not driving, it doesn't look right.
Oh, really? I probably
Yeah, because when you're driving, you're at that angle, so it's
Right.
really stretched out, so it looks normal to you when you're driving.
Hmm.
But if you see it while you're walking, if you see the road, it'd be really, really stretched letters.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
kind of the opposite reason of why like traffic lights look so small, right?
Yeah, those things. The like, how long are they really? You never realize how large they are. The dividers,
Yeah.
lines on highway.
They're 3
How
feet,
big?
or no, they're 9 feet, I think
No,
it
they're-
is.
They're 10 feet. 10 feet.
Yeah,
But if
that's
you ask a
close.
random person that doesn't know, they'll be like, I don't know, 2-3 feet. Something
Yeah,
like that.
that's what they seem like.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like it.
Yep, exactly. That's why the letters are like so large and elongated. It's the same exact concept. All right, well that was mine. What's your next one?
Okay.
Is it driving in general annoying?
Okay, here's one that's pretty first world-ish. So when you order food delivery, right?
Yeah.
Delivered to your door.
Uh-huh.
Usually, I feel like the bread is a little stale. Like, that's something that needs to be served fresh.
Okay. Yeah.
By the time it gets to me, it's meh.
Dude,
That upsets
so
me.
I have a similar one, but I agree with you on that. It's just when you order any kind of delivery and it's late or anything is wrong with it is what I have.
Say that again?
So I had when you do food delivery and it's late or anything is wrong with it,
Oh.
it's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Like they miss one thing.
Yeah. Because especially with food delivery.
Here's a perfect one. Yeah, we got a bunch of breakfast food, right?
Uh-huh.
And they forgot the fresh fruit, and I didn't realize until the time I got home. But we had too much anyways.
Yeah.
Like I ordered too much anyways. I still complained.
Yep. No, I mean, it's so true, though.
That's very
We also-
personally.
In that same vein, I also had also at a drive-thru or something when like your food is wrong or any drink is wrong
Oh, yeah.
or you have to wait in line for too long. Cause like that's kind of in the same vein, but food delivery is just extra lazy and extra first world. Like I'm literally getting food
And the
delivered
thing
to me.
And the thing you mumble to yourself is those damn employees don't know what they're doing. They're like teenagers working at minimum wage.
Yeah.
They shouldn't give a shit.
Somebody on Facebook, actually I think it was Brandon Coleman, put something about that where he said like it's not that hard to get like an order right or something like that. And I put, dude, they're working shit wages at a shit job. Like I get it, they're gonna fuck up. Like it should be
Most
almost
of them are high.
expected.
I would be too.
Yeah, exactly. They really are though. It's so true. I also put that it's especially bad when you order something like Starbucks and it's wrong. Like that's super first world. Like you order like a coffee.
Oh yeah, a mocha latte, and then they your super custom order, and they forgot to like whip the cream or put the cream in the right order, whatever it is.
I always just get coffee from
Might as well
Starbucks,
just
but
throw it
yeah,
away.
they're like, I can't drink this. This is impossible. I have a very specific palate. So I kind of had that. So now I got to delete my other one. one on here.
That's okay.
Um,
So it's your turn then. Right?
So,
is that mine?
yeah.
Stale bread. Yes.
So I have in the same vein, food related. This is such a first world problem. When you look at a fridge and there's food in there, but it's nothing you want to eat, so you're like, man, there's like nothing to eat, and that's annoying. You gotta go get food.
I have written down full fridge and 2 freezers, cabinets. Don't want to eat any of it. Just store. And then I rotate through looking and not being able to decide. Like, I sit there and look and look and look.
Yeah.
That exact one written down.
You'll look at the fridge, and then you look at cupboards, and then you look at the fridge again.
And then I'll go back to the fridge. like I'm not even that hungry is the thing.
It's usually like you're bored. You're just like bored.
I'm bored and just a slight bit hungry.
Yeah.
And nothing there will satisfy me.
Yeah, right.
And they're stuffed to the gills. They're completely full. Lots of options.
Yeah, it's never happened and there hasn't been food in my fridge. It's not like it's ever empty. Like, there's always some kind of food in there. But, like, am I really going to snack on pickles right now? I don't feel like pickles.
Yeah, you look through each item and you're like, no, I can't imagine myself eating that right now. No, not that one.
Outrageous.
That would be too much work. It looks good, but it'd be too much work.
Yeah. What, am I going to cook?
Make a sandwich? I'd have to cut a tomato. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Dude, what is this? Does this fridge not know how lazy I am right now? The audacity. So also in that same vein though, I also put like when you get groceries or you get food and your fridge is too cluttered to put it away and you have to like reorganize everything. Yeah. That's such a first world problem.
That happens a ton.
Like, oh my god, I have too much food. How annoying.
Yeah, god, I gotta reorder this whole thing.
Yeah. God.
I don't want, like, those starving Africans to just see us go, oh, god, such a frustration. I have so much food, I have to rearrange it.
So I was going over this list with Nicole, and she reminded me of, there's a Dracula show on Netflix.
A Dracula?
Yeah. And so one of the things that happens is he gets like locked away underwater for like 1,000 years or 100 years. I think it was like maybe it was like the 1200s or so, and he's locked away until like the 2000s. So he comes back in modern time.
Vampire. It's specifically Dracula.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it's Dracula or whatever. But it's a whole different story. Okay. Anyways, so he randomly goes into like what would be like a very poor person's apartment, right? Like not like lower more middle class, but like lower class apartment.
Okay.
And he just looks at it, and like the woman's like, of course, like, who the fuck are you and stuff. And he just starts talking about like, what kind of royalty are you? Because she has like all this food and all these like nice things to him because he's back from like the 1200s, and he's like, you live this life of luxury. If I had this kind of place, I would never leave. And she's just like looking at him like, what are you talking about? I'm poor as fuck.
Yeah.
But it is true, like think like, because he was also rich back in the days, but still like a rich person in the 1200s compared to like...
Okay. Go
ahead. I said like a rich person in the 1200s compared to lower middle class, it's going to be way different.
Yeah.
Depending on how rich they were.
Yeah, like, they're not really that rich. So, yeah, they have more than enough food, which they're far away better than peasants. But you know what no one there has? They don't have servants galore. They don't have everyone doing exactly what they tell them to. They don't have slaves.
This is true.
Right?
Yeah.
So
but he just saw...
people that serve you is pretty big.
True, but he just saw, like, the living situation of this person.
Yeah. So that person would be, like, I feel like, very, very, very low on the totem pole of the aristocrats. Like, just barely an aristocrat. Because they have enough food to eat. But they have no servants. They don't have a castle. They don't have any of that stuff. Yeah,
but that's true. But he wouldn't have known, like, in the apartment that whole building wasn't her place, right? Like, that just might look like one room to him.
All the people were her servants.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody else she saw.
Uh-huh.
I guess. Okay, I see. I don't know the context.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sounds right.
But servants would be the number one thing that would be different from a rich person for sure.
Yeah.
Still separating us today is having people working for you.
Pretty much. That's one of the definitions of being rich, I feel like. That's like time immemorial. If you pay people to do stuff for you, like,
it's very true.
As like they're your employee, that is rich.
I mean, it makes
Other
sense.
than that, you're never at the upper class until you sign somebody's paycheck on a regular basis.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense though, because to be able to pay for someone else's life means you have to make enough money for that many people, right?
Right.
So it makes sense. Especially when it's just like to do a random chore around the house.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's your
my next one? So my next one's gonna be. Oh, I was just gonna say, if you watch Downton Abbey, like they just have people. They have like one guy has like 8 people in charge of his life. Like just there's the guy that washes my clothes. There's the guy that drives me. There's the guy that. Like that's when you're really just going crazy. But anyways.
Yeah.
Moving on. My next one, or this one is Chloe's.
Okay.
So still related to the food or kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So if she has a crack on one plate, now she needs to buy a whole new set, and that's like, then you got to do the research. Like, which one do I like the most? It's like a whole endeavor, like a whole thing.
That's a very specific thing for her.
One plate cracks. Yeah.
That's funny.
And then you have to replace the entire set because, And the thing is, we're only 2 people anyway, so
why do you need a crazy set anyway?
What if people visit? We rarely have visitors, but you know what? She's gonna try to replace it.
I get it. I know where she's coming from, but I agree with you. I would never buy a whole new set because of one cracked plate.
I know.
If anything, just get rid of the one plate, and it looks like your whole set is still complete.
Yeah. So Mom gave me a bunch of like random shit she bought at a garage sale when I first moved into my own apartment. Yeah. And I still keep it. Like, it'll be 45 years. I'll keep the same plate. I'll keep the same cup. I don't care.
Yeah.
They're going to be scratched to all hell.
This is very true.
It holds my food.
This is very different from women and men, though. We will keep, like, the same shitty, like, pants or cup or whatever. It's like, that is a shitty mug, but I've had that mug for, like, 15 years, so it's kind of my mug now.
Yeah. Chloe always laughs about the fact that I once called one of my sets of pants, so my dividend pants, because I said I bought that when I first started working. They're like khakis, right? So you needed to be business casual. So I bought them like first year I worked professionally, and then 15 years later I still have them. And I say, I bought those 15 years ago, and they're still paying dividends. So she just laughs about my dividend pants. They're ratty as hell. They're all, but they're still, like, they're passable.
Yeah.
So they're my dividend pants.
They're like, I can still go to work in them.
Still paying dividends. Yeah, they're still fine.
No, I totally get that. I do with clothes. Sometimes I go through, like, okay, I need to throw away some clothes. But most other things, like, I'll just keep for basically until I have to get rid of it.
Yeah, honestly, most clothes, like, I didn't actually try that one on at the store, and it doesn't actually fit as well as I thought it would, so I just toss it.
Dude, sometimes I forget to even toss that. I'll just keep it.
Or, sometimes I'll just keep it in, like, the back pile, and there will be the set of clothes I never wear. It's like once every 4 years I'll be like, okay, time to just throw shit to Goodwill.
Oh, it's so true, though. I definitely have had pants where I'm like, this doesn't fit. What, am I going to go back to the store and return it? That's a lot of fucking work. I'm just going to keep these fucking pants.
I know. Oh,
what if I lose weight,
like that where Chloe will... Yeah, there's that one. I have so many ones that are my lose weight clothes. I have a huge set. Like the ones I used to fit in. Yeah. And that keeps growing, sadly.
You're going to have a whole dresser of... This is a lose weight dresser.
These are... So I have like... I should have whole sections of... If I lose 10 pounds,
but like divide it up.
If I lose 40 pounds. And the thing is, I once fit in all of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the trend only goes the wrong way.
I've at least bounced between different weights. But that's because, like...
I've yo-yoed a bit, but for the most part, the long time trend is up.
Yeah, true for me as well. But because of jiu-jitsu, I will every now and then for a tournament cut weight on purpose. But it's kind of miserable, so it's not something I can maintain.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What were we? Yeah, what were you?
That was,
cracked plates. That's what.
Yeah, that was good. That all started with cracked plates, and we got onto clothes we keep forever, which makes sense how we got there.
So that one was mine. Now it's yours.
Okay. This one I feel like is very specific to guys, but I feel like women would get this too. But this happens with Nicole and I all the time, and I'm sure with you. Basically, when you have to get off the couch to literally do anything. Like, you're comfy, you're doing something on the couch, and, like, you have to get up for some reason. Or somebody asks you for something and you have to get up. Like, you just, especially when you just got comfy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just laid down, and bam.
Well, now, Zach, now that I have kids, you have no fucking idea. How many times my ass just barely touches the goddamn chair, and I hear, wah!
Yeah, I bet you that happens a lot more with you now.
It happens like 3 times in a row. I go pick them up. It's okay. Put them down. They're okay. My ass barely touches the ground.
It like turns.
It's okay.
Your ass like turns to sit down, and they're going off already.
It's like they know.
Right.
Know.
Well, why don't you put like? See, I would like put like the what are they called, bassinets or whatever, or cribs if they're in those. Like, why aren't those just next to the couch at this point?
They actually do make some that are next to the bed.
See,
but you see, you don't understand when you actually have a baby. They don't want to be in the bassinet. They want you to hold them.
That's fair.
So it doesn't matter if they're right next to it. As soon as they touch, they'll start going, no, wait. No one's holding me.
But my point is, not that I get that they want to be held. I understand that. It's that if they're next to the couch, the getting up isn't as detrimental. Yeah.
I guess you're right. That actually, they do make them next to the bed.
Yeah.
The couch, I don't know. But
because there's a difference between having to get up.
Though. We looked at them.
Yeah, so my point is it's a lot different to get up to something that's right next to you and to get up and walk any amount of feet to do whatever you need to do.
Amount of feet. Okay.
All right, what's your next one?
You're right. Oh, well, I was just going to add one more thing to yours.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's also like the source of so many fights or like things between men and women.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you sit down and then they say, hey, could you take out the trash? Fuck you.
You fucking bitch.
I can't sit down for 5 goddamn minutes.
Yeah.
It's like they know, too. It's just like the babies. It's like they know.
Right?
It's like they know I just sat down.
Oh, I've definitely said that to Nicole. I was like, literally, I just sat down.
I know. All right.
It's so funny, though, how universal that is.
Yeah, it's so often, I think. And it's because I don't... And, here's the thing that's probably true, at least for me, and I would imagine a lot of married couples.
Yeah.
Is I don't actually ask Chloe to do anything.
Yeah.
But it gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, she has a timetable that's way ahead of mine. Like, I would take out the trash on my own or do whatever chore she has on my own 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I would wait till the trash is, like, at the very tip-top before I take it out. And I'm not sitting around smelling it, checking. But she does.
You know what?
She asks me, but I never ask her anything. I never go, hey, could you do this? Hey, could you do that?
Or it's a very rare occasion for me to ask her. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but she asks me all the time. And it's not, like, because I won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I have a higher threshold for when I'll do it.
That's a very true statement. Although, like, what's funny is with Nicole, it's, like, similar to what you're saying, but she doesn't usually ask for, like, it's not getting up to take out the trash. Because usually I'll just do that on a timetable she's comfortable with. It's something else that's completely random that I would never even think to care about.
Oh, like what?
Like, I'm trying to think of a good example.
You're right. I'm so absent-minded.
Like she can't reach something. I don't know, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, like something completely random. You know what I mean? Like those kinds of things. Where I get why she needs my help, but it's just like, man, really? I just sat down.
Let's get a ladder. All right. The last one was Chloe's. Okay, so my next one. Okay, this is very first worldy. I have too many bank accounts. It's hard to know how much money I actually have.
Okay, that's so first world problem. That's above my first world problem.
Really, it really is. So I have, and then sometimes it's just laziness because I can consolidate a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I have, I think, 3 or 4 401ks. I think I have 3 brokerages.
Oh God.
An actual checking account.
This sounds awful.
Missing something. Oh. And then for Cisco, I have something to keep the stocks that they grant me there. So I'm thinking I have 10?
Jesus.
10 maybe bank accounts altogether?
Yeah.
I might be missing 1 or 2. But around there, about 10. And then the 401ks, I could, you can consolidate them.
No.
And then the brokerages, I guess I could too. But, I signed up for ones when it's, back in, I don't know, 2004 or something. I signed up for E-Trade, and then I found one that was cheaper, and I signed up for that one, and then I found one that was cheaper and signed up for that one. And then now, that's why I never got into Robinhood. So many people were so onto it. I was like, dude, I have too fucking many already. I literally have, written down my
because you have to at that point.
Every bank account, link, and then, a hint for each password and username.
Why don't you just bookmark each one?
Remember them. Because I change computers a little too often.
Oh, okay.
That's
fair.
another first world thing. I update my computers a lot.
That is a very first world. That's a very first world problem.
Yeah.
That's not a problem I have.
I don't know.
But I see where you're coming from. But then again, I guess in a way, because you have credit cards too. You have
Yeah. We also have the. Oh, that's the 11th one. Chloe and I have a shared account.
Yeah.
So there's account number 11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's another one. No, here's number 12. Okay? And this is the dumbest fucking one. Okay? So, about 5 years ago, I think you may remember, I started doing a little side business where I was contracting for someone over the internet making Android apps.
Yeah.
So I actually started my own business, right? And you had to open your own checking account for that. So that's account number 12.
Yep. Yep.
And so I opened it with Fifth Third because they had some special for businesses.
Okay.
There has been, I got most of it out, but I think there's been $2,000 in that account for the last 5 years. And because they only exist in Ohio, I can't actually go and close it. So it just sits there. And I don't even have a card or anything. It's just $2,000 sitting there. And then for a while, I didn't touch it for 5 years. I didn't realize Amazon Web Server was a thing I was paying for my business. It was $2 a month. So it was taking $2 a month for a long time.
Shit, yeah.
And that's the only reason the account was even active. So I'm afraid if I leave it, they'll claim it as inactive and take the money. So at some point, I'm going to, since I can't go close it, and I'm too lazy to go to Fifth Third, and actually, once I go to Ohio, I'm going to set up a $5 monthly transfer to one of my other accounts.
Oh my god.
And just let it go for 30 years. I don't care.
Dude, Amazon Web Services just making bank off of you.
Yeah, but it's I shut that down finally. But it's going to be easier for me to set up a transfer of $5 every month to my other accounts for 30 years.
Yeah.
Than to go into an actual branch and say, "Can you please close my account? I'm just going to let it change for $5 to me for 30 years."
That's funny. So you don't do anything through the business anymore then?
No, it's definitely defunct, right? I think if you don't file taxes for a year, it no longer actually exists. It's done.
I thought it was for 3 years, unless I read it wrong.
Maybe it's 3 years. It's been 5 years, so I know it's done.
Yeah, because I started the business
file taxes forever.
to sell magic cards, and from what I read, it's 3 years. Because if you don't even make $500, you're not supposed to file taxes for the LLC.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Do you do the
Yeah.
like 50% is your salary, 50% is your business?
I don't pay any salary to myself yet.
No, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do. So you do 50% is your salary, and that gets taxed, right?
If that's the
50%
thing
is
I'm
just-
supposed to do, I don't do it.
Yeah. So, well, if you don't want to get audited, then 50%
well.
just goes into your business, and that can be untaxed, basically.
Well, I have underpaid myself for the past year.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't pay taxes on half your income. Well, you should pay corporate taxes, which is way lower than your own taxes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was essentially a way to buy magic cards and sell them.
All right, so that was mine. Too many bank accounts. Okay, yeah. I'd like to know.
All right, so
Alright.
so multiple accounts is your bank accounts, credit cards, all those things
Yeah.
that are just annoying.
401ks,
Those things are just
RSUs, brokerages.
You know what? To add to that,
accounts.
just online accounts in general.
What about online
Like
accounts? Online accounts are way better than it was before.
No, I'm saying it's really annoying, like how many online accounts you have, and specifically, if Google doesn't remember it and you have to do like the forgot password, send it to this email,
There's so
type
many
this
ones
in.
where I never know them. Like every time,
Right?
like I go to them so rarely, I'll be like, "Well, forgot my password. That's my password." Because fuck you.
Yeah. It's so funny, dude. Before Google Chrome started memorizing passwords, like you just have to remember that shit. So you'd obviously have the same password for everything.
Oh yeah. And then they do the phone
But-
number thing now for like resetting, so it's fine. It's fine. But you can never change
it's just
the phone
annoying.
number now.
Yeah, that's true. Changing your phone number would probably be such a pain in the ass these days. Could you imagine with how many online accounts you have with the two-step verification to your phone?
Oh yeah.
That'd be fucked. Well, anyways, was that
Oh
up
yeah,
now?
next one.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, here's a really good one for, especially I think you can identify. When there's a TV show you really like and you can't binge it nowadays because either it's like a weekly release, like some online things do, or it's like you gotta wait for the next season. Like, damn it.
Yeah. That's definitely one. Like having to wait for the next season of things. Like I even try to only watch things when they're complete, right? But there's so many things that look so good. You're like, I can't wait. I gotta watch it. And then
So
they get
true.
to the end of the season, like, God damn it! I want to see what happens
Yeah,
next.
you motherfuckers, I gotta wait for this shit now?
You drew me in just to leave, and they leave on a cliffhanger too.
Oh,
And
every
what's
time.
worse is like you're so excited at the time it ends, but a year or 2 years later, when it comes back, you're like, I don't even remember what happened. Now I was super excited, but I
Yeah.
don't remember anymore.
Right?
Why?
It's so true. Yeah, like we just finished The Last Kingdom, which was really good. You still need to check that out if you haven't.
Oh, okay. I wrote down the ones you recommended to me, but I have no time to do anything.
Yeah, I get it. But the last season, we just finished it, and there's one more season and a movie coming out. Yeah, but we gotta wait for it now.
Yeah. That was always with Game of Thrones. I feel like it always ended in I was like until the last season, last couple of seasons. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
season.
I was like, oh shit! Then what happens? We'll tell you in 2 years, motherfuckers. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah, Game of Thrones was really bad because it was
also like
so
that,
good.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Oh man.
So fucking true. Man, remember when just shows were always weekly and you just had to wait for shows like Lost? We used to have like little viewing parties for that. How did we ever survive?
Oh yeah. See, I wish I hadn't have watched Lost then. Now I'd go back and just binge it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It was cool.
Then I don't. Then when they like find that what was the end
The
of
hatch?
season 1 when they find the hatch? Yeah, I want to be holy shit. The fuck is that hatch?
And you'd be like,
I'll find out in a
gonna
year
find out.
what that hatch is. Yeah.
There
And
is.
then I remember the beginning of the second season.
Uh huh.
If you remember, Like, they start it with, what's his, Desmond.
Yeah,
right?
Desmond in the bottom
Yeah,
with
that
the
always calls
record
people
player.
brother.
Yep.
Yeah, they just start with him. I
Uh-huh.
thought I was watching the wrong show.
Yeah, they got you, man. It was good.
I'm like, what the hell's going on right now?
I feel like there is a slight benefit to doing it that way, though. Especially,
You
like...
can really surprise people.
Yeah, especially back in that time period where, like, when you went to work or anywhere, you talk about, like, Lost. Like, what's going to happen in the next episode, right? Like,
theories and stuff, that's true.
Now, like, if you talk about a show, you're like, did you watch the whole thing on Netflix yet? Okay, now we can talk about what happened.
Yeah, but you know, I was just thinking one other thing that would be better about just putting them all out there and waiting is like Lost. You know, the last bit's shitty, so you could just stop.
Yeah.
And I really thought with Heroes, right?
Oh yeah,
like
Heroes
the first
really.
Season of Heroes, if you recall, was really good. But the second season went downhill so fast,
Yeah.
and the third season was just pure dog shit. If somebody would just tell me, like, don't waste your time on the next 2 seasons.
Yep.
Or like Game of Thrones, you know what? Just turn it off around season 5 or whatever, and just imagine, like, as soon as you find out that Jon Snow is really the last Targaryen heir,
Yeah.
you just turn it off and, like, you just imagine the rest of it in your head.
Dude, I think that's a
Like,
website.
it would be better.
It's kind of like Jump the Shark, but instead of Jump the Shark, it's like stop watching the show at this time.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yep.
That's what you really need.
It's true, but if you're really into the show, you're still going to keep watching, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, they draw you in.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're still going to want to watch it, and sometimes it's just not worth it.
Yep.
That's why Nicole refuses to watch Lost, because she's just heard from so many people how the last season is garbage.
You should just not watch the last
That's what I said.
Just imagine that there's a real ending.
This is like
I
just
literally
watch it.
think she should not watch it.
Just
not watch the last bit.
the first, like, 3 or 4 seasons are so good.
Just imagine that they had actually had a solution to all of it.
Yeah.
They didn't.
They did it.
But imagine they did.
But think if they...
Imagine it really was purgatory.
Yeah.
That's it. The real thing was it was purgatory.
Think if they did, though.
Congratulations.
Think if they actually resolved everything.
Yeah. If it actually all made sense in the end. It did it.
Yep.
But no.
Because, I mean, they did so good with, like, the first season brought up the hatch at the end, right? And then the second season brought up, like, the other side, right? The other survivors. You're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's a whole nother side of this island with people on it. And then you had, like...
And then...
Oh, wait. You had 4th season
Go ahead.
where they finally left the island, and then Jack was like, we gotta go back.
You've watched this more than once, haven't you?
Yeah, I've watched it, like, 4 or 5 times, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I've only watched it. I haven't rewatched it yet. I want to rewatch it at some point, but not yet.
Dude, I haven't rewatched it in, like, 10 to 15 years. It's just when it was around and it was the thing.
Oh.
I watched the first
No, I only want...
1 to 3 seasons at least, like, 4 or 5 times,
that with
introducing
The
it to people.
But I didn't do that to Lost.
Yeah. Lost I watched
But
a
yeah.
lot.
But, yeah. So, if you could just... I forget what I was going to say. It just... They had so many things that were like, oh, that's really intriguing. I wonder how that makes sense. And I could... To this day, I could not tell you what the real solution was. Like it was like there's a Roman guy, and the smoke monster was like a guy that was the bad Roman guy.
Yeah, I don't remember
can't
exactly
explain-
how
and
the
it's
smoke
just
monster
a
was
magic
explained.
Island. You've watched it 5 times and you can't explain it.
Yeah, but that was because that was, like, towards the end.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, I couldn't explain to you what was going on with the whole island. The whole, like, I couldn't explain any of the mysteries to you other than it was like there was a Roman guy and he was there forever and it was magic. Don't question it, shut the fuck up. That's my explanation for the Lost. That's the solution. I don't know.
That's funny.
And I was so into it early on.
Yeah. It's very true. I feel like Lost, too, though, is so good in the way that it, like, created how television is made today, almost. Like, a lot of things with the flashbacks of explaining why this person's behavior is this way, ending on a cliffhanger for almost every single episode, like a good cliffhanger.
Okay, here's one thing I have against that bothers me too. So
Yeah.
the creator of that show was J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah.
And the creator of Game of Thrones, or the showrunners, were DB or something. I forget. They had names. People were talking about them a lot, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But what pisses me off is they never suffer consequences. Because, like, J.J. Abrams then got to direct Star Wars, and then he got to direct Star Trek, too, I think. I think he directed one of the Star Treks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he keeps getting work, and so did the other guys. I think Netflix picked up some show for them. It's like, no. Okay, you did okay on the first one, but you totally just misled us and fucked us over.
Very true.
But there's no consequences for them.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have all, like, after the last season of Game of Thrones, we all, as a Game of Thrones watching community, should have gotten together and been like, we will cancel our Netflix subscription if you hire those assholes, okay?
Well, to be fair, I think some people did say, like, I'm never going to watch the show by them. But maybe they don't advertise that it's by them to try and avoid that.
I really wouldn't. Like, but I did watch I watched Star Trek. I didn't watch the Star Wars other than the first one. So I think that's the one he directed, though. I think other people directed the other ones.
To be fair, though, Lost I'll let slide. Because at least they tried to somewhat explain it. But, like, Game of Thrones, they literally just poo-pooed on. Like, Lost wasn't as bad as Game of Thrones.
Giant shit. I feel like Lost was... Like, they didn't actually have an ending in mind. They, like, pretended they did, but they, like, just made shit up, and they were like, we're never going to explain
They
it.
wrote themselves into a corner.
They were intentionally misleading. Like, they thought they could come up with something, but they couldn't.
I mean, they admitted when they made the hatch, they didn't know what it was going to be. Until they started writing season 2. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But I felt like that's what made it so good but yeah, you have to have an end in mind for these kinds of shows. But I feel like Game of Thrones is different in that it wasn't that they didn't have an end in mind. It's that they just got lazy and didn't care.
Yeah, no, I think it wasn't just that. It's not that they just didn't care. One is that George R.R. Martin is a much better writer than anyone on staff.
Good point.
That's number one. Two is they got the feeling, I feel, that like, from the beginning of, like, Ned Stark died, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, what's his face? His son died, like, with a thing, and then that one guy that got his eyes gouged out died.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it was just, oh, we're always going to build up some hero and then let you down, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to build them up so much and, like, just disappoint you with some turn. And it was like, okay, you do that a bunch of times, but I'm pretty sure George R.R. Martin's ideal was, you do that enough and it makes it seem like Jon Snow's ascendancy to the throne is even more of a big deal. And it's like it's actually a hidden, like, okay, it's just the same old story of the chosen one ascends, but with so much more violence and, like, disappointment that it actually makes it seem like a magical thing. But they're like, no, we did it with all the rest. Let's just let him die. Let him become a disappointment. Which is even worse than him just dying.
True.
Like, he was brought back to life, and what was the point? There was no point. He was what was the girl calling him? The witch calling him? And there was no point to any of it. It was all pointless.
Yep.
Like, and the fact that he was actually the last Targaryen, pointless. Like, if just one thread actually made it through to the end and made sense.
Yep.
But instead it's like, let's make the autistic kid the king. Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, they actually admitted, though, that they felt like the ending was too predictable because there's hints towards it. And I was like, it was predictable because they foreshadowed a lot of fucking shit for the end. And then you guys went, all that foreshadowing, all that important bits, we're just going to forget all about that and just pull 180 on this whole story.
It's like... So if you
prophecies and all that stuff, they set it up.
So if you not just set up prophecies, because they had that prophecy with what's his face, the really big barbarian guy, his son,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they had that prophecy, and it obviously didn't come to fruition. But the prophecy about Jon Snow,
Mm-hmm.
like lots of them came, like all except the end where he actually mattered came true, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, oh, he would reborn. That came true. That seems like a really unusual thing to come true. Unless it's an actual real goddamn prophecy that really actually works. Right? That's the thing that really is like, you can have like, yeah, there's bullshitters that come up with prophecies. That makes sense. Like I can buy that. But when you set up a prophecy and some really unusual parts of that prophecy are true. Like they have him born under a morning star and the name
Yep.
of the sword is like the morning star or something. Like that is a real prophecy. You've really made me believe that because there's no way you could actually just have that randomly happen. And they go, nope,
Yep.
randomly happened.
Nope.
Randomly. No, it didn't. That had to have been part of a real prophecy because you can't predict that.
Yeah, it's also just because how silly of a turn it was. It wasn't like really anything to it.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Oh,
this
and then
happens instead.
Yeah, and the part that also kills it, it's not just that the prophecy made sense until the very end. It's that, what's his face, the autistic Stark, what's his name? The
Bran?
one that got his legs broken? Bran.
The one that becomes king of the lands.
Yeah, he was a warg, and it seems like they actually had more of a storyline there about him being the one-eyed raven, but I don't know what it was or how it made sense in any way, shape, or form, or what the bigger part of it was. He's just, I'm the three-eyed raven.
Yeah,
And he talks like super autistically.
That's an example of the writers of the show not being as good as the writers of the book, having no...
Yeah, like there should be more of a story behind that. Like, they were building that so much, and it's just like... all the mysteries are lost, but like nothing that made any sense. This goes, okay.
All right.
He's the three-eyed raven, which means he's autistic, basically.
Do you have another good first world problem? Because I want to keep these at like an hour long now. So I want to keep like a good solid hour.
Okay. Where was that one mine or was that one yours?
That one was mine. I had TV shows where like they...
Okay, I have two more. Can we do two
You can't binge. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So one that Chloe and I both have is we've gotten so used to a bidet. It's like so disappointing when there isn't one available.
Yeah.
Like I have to wash my ass like a caveman now with a bit of paper.
I get that.
What is that?
I do the same thing with wet wipes, but like if I had a bidet, that would be the same thing.
Yeah.
I totally get that one.
Yeah. So that's a small one.
I agree though. Like,
I think is disappointing.
It should just be standard in toilets these days. Like, it's kind of barbaric and not good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do your next one.
Oh shit! I just closed out because I thought you said you had two.
Oh, do you want me to?
Yeah. You do the another one. I thought you meant you had two you wanted to do.
So this is Chloe's. So she had a friend. Okay. That had So she went to Seattle or Portland, I think Oregon, somewhere in Oregon. Portland, Seattle, or no, that's Washington. Portland, I think. And because they don't have sales tax there, she bought really expensive purses, like 20 grand. She's into these high luxury items, right?
What? Jesus.
Yeah, you have no idea. It's called, I wrote this down, Armis?
I have no fucking clue.
Armis.
Nicole might know.
I don't know either. But she paid only like $20,000 worth of insurance on this thing, and it's worth like 30-40 grand. She sent it in the mail, and it was stolen. She was only going to get $20,000 back of her 30-40 grand purse.
Holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah, well, this lady has problems, but that was... but that's the first world problem when, you only bought the $20,000 of insurance.
That's so fucking insane. Also, like, who's checking all this mail?
I don't know. Somebody that's richer than you would think. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because they're selling this thing, I guarantee you.
Yep. They're very true.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so insane. Yeah, insurance on something that expensive and you don't get, like, enough insurance, definitely, for sure, a problem.
Yeah. I bet she'll buy enough insurance next time.
Can you imagine even explaining insurance to somebody that's not like a first world, like somebody like that's just like such a foreign concept?
Oh yeah. I was telling Chloe like the funny thing is gonna be when she goes because she's gonna. I think she contacted the cops, right?
Yeah.
And trying to explain that to them, and like I feel like they'll be like, "Bitch, that's like half my salary.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I care? You're all right. There are people out there getting murdered,
Right? Like, what the fuck?
Right?
Like, I gotta worry about eating and not dying.
You'll be all right without a purse.
You'll get through it. Trust me.
Oh yeah. So like I said, so this lady's really into like high-priced luxury things.
Yeah.
We went to her place. She has a whole room. This is very first worldy. She has a room dedicated to purses and jewelry, like high-end shit. And I thought this would be an amazing lady to fucking rob. Like,
You're not wrong.
The first thought that popped into my mind is like, if I were a robber, I'd hit you first.
I would fucking destroy you.
It never occurred to me that jewelry I understand, but that like purses and stuff.
Yeah.
And handbags or whatever you call them, you could make just as much money on some of those.
I always thought that with women with the rings that they have on. Why aren't like women robbed more for their rings?
Yeah.
Like any married woman has, it's at least $1,000, and women just walk around with thousands of dollars on their rings or fingers all the time.
Down, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never understood why that doesn't happen. Like think like the scene in Pulp Fiction where they rob the people, the customers. What if they just took all their rings too?
That's a very good question because they had the bag with wallets, right?
Yeah. Why don't they just take all their jewelry?
Take their wedding rings.
Yeah. That's always been a thought of mine. Like how does this like not happen more often?
Yeah. And you know what? Just in case there's a rich person there, you should take their handbags too. Don't just empty the.
Good point. Get the purse. Just take the purse.
And you know what? That might have been custom stitching on the badass motherfucker on Samuel L. Jackson.
Very true.
Isn't that what it said? His wallet?
Yeah, badass motherfucker.
That might have been worth money.
Yeah, now it's like a common $10 wallet, but back then, that's custom. That's leather.
No one just had those.
Yeah, pure leather.
Paid for that.
Exactly. Well, I feel like we did do a good 10 list. We should prepare for podcasts more often. Yeah. We might have actually sounded somewhat professional this time.
Semi.
Somewhat semi. But
no, I think it was much better. Actually, because it was there's so many podcasts we could do if we actually prepared.
Yeah. Well, this is why I didn't edit the last one because it's like that was a good warm up to get back in the podcast rhythm. But
I thought that was actually
prepare. Well, send them both to me and I'll re-listen when I edit it.
Yeah. All right. But next one probably we should do the year, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. We need to do the end of the year review. Oh, you need to do that with us, babe. That'll be a good one.
I'm gonna stop, by the way.
All right.